Today's 352nd day that I'm here to share lessons I learn, and I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today, I'm again going back into 5 love languages. Yesterday, we were speaking about how to show words of affirmation to your wife or to your husband. Today, we will go deep down into really how to show acts of service to your wife or to your husband. This will be just a small list, but a lot of times when you want to start showing acts of service, you want to have at least the beginning of what you can do, because there is a huge list and it will be only the scratch of the service what you're able to do if you really want to do active service to your wife or to your husband. So first I will look into the wife, how as a husband you're supposed to do active service to your wife, and then after I will do switch and then how what wife could do to show active service to the husband. So let's get started. So first thing is that help with household chores. So that means that when a man wants to show active service to a wife, of course he's able to do chores, because a lot of times, of course, majority of men doesn't do chores at home, and women have a tendency to do a little bit more chores than the men. So of course, if you able to help, that's be very kind act of service. Number 2 is run errands. So that means what do you need to do besides home? Maybe there is some kind of mail, maybe it's something else. So what you're able to run for your wife instead of her, that you're able to change it and really allow her to relax. Number 3 is prepare meals. Again, women have a tendency to prepare meals much more often than men. Sometimes if you give them break, of course they will be much more willing to do even and better meals. Number 4 is breakfast in bed. That means you need to be able to wake up much more early, prepare some coffee, prepare some breakfast, and really bring to bed. Because act of service shows that you care. You care to really think and really act in according with service. And of course, you don't need to do that every single day, but like every single time when you're able to do that, with the meaning that I just cared about you and I wanted to really give you something in return. And of course that is meaningful, because if you do that every single day, of course that a lot of times loses the meaning, because people get comfortable with that. Number 5 is bless her. So then what I mean by bless her, so that means that maybe a spa, you're able to purchase something meaningful that she's able to relax, because a lot of time women needs that relaxation. They're always thinking, the brain is moving 1,000 things at the same time. Like so, like woman is thinking about 60,000 thoughts a day, and men are thinking about one thought 60,000 times. So it's a little bit different, because we're able to be a little bit more focused, and woman needs relaxation a little bit more a lot of times. 6, take care of her kids. So that means that if you have kids, and if, of course, women have a tendency to overlook kids a little bit more. So being able to take kids and for a trip, allow women to really relax. It's always come to bless her with spa on her own, without kids, without mealing, without anything, just really her and just nothing else. Number 7 is plan a surprise date night. This is active service as well, because you plan, you prepare, you making arrangements, and of course this is active service that you're able to do regarding your wife. Number 8 is handle car maintenance. Now, wife just wants to drive, and of course she doesn't want to do maintenance, and a lot of times what you can do is really take care of a car that she doesn't need to think about it, and it's just about the car itself. Number 9 is support her passions. That means there's a lot of ways that you're able to support her passions. That means maybe you're able to really, if she needs some support in buying stuff, that you're able to really go and buy all the things for her passions. But you're able to do some acts of service. You need to ask what she cares about, and really bring that up, that she doesn't need to do it by herself. And number 10 is be attentive to her needs. So that means you need to listen what she mentions, what she cares about, and really then secretly prepare it and really make things happen for her, that she can show that you really care about her. You really prepared all the things and brought things up, because when your wife mentions something to you, you're able to put in a list and say, okay, and ask yourself when you're alone, what do I need to do to make this happen? What do I need to do to really make that surprise for her, that she doesn't expect that? Because of course surprise are a beautiful thing, because when you don't expect it, but when you get what you didn't expect, is a lot of time brings a lot of meaning. Because especially when you need to do that exercise for a month, that means maybe there's a lot of things that you need to do not into one day, not in 1 hour. Maybe you need to do 5, 6, 10, maybe 20 hours of working on some specific project that you're finally able to make that surprise to your wife. Now, one thing is that active service is important, is very, very important, and men have a tendency to be much better in active service than women. That's why, because men have a tendency to be very good in active service, they forget that there's other parts of love languages. So we don't need to focus fully on active service. It's very important to do that, but at the same time, we need to understand that there's other ways of loving as well besides active service. Now I would love to move to other side, and what woman could do to really show active service to her husband. So first one is prepare favorite meal. That means that you're able to prepare your husband's favorite meal, and that just shows active service, because a lot of times preparing meal just becomes boring because every single day you prepare a meal. But if you prepare the favorite meal, that shows that you thought about it and you really work hard to make things happen. Number 2 is handle chores. So it means that you need to take care of chores. A lot of times that if a man is a breadwinner, and of course he's going out to provide, of course he doesn't want to come back and then handle chores. And of course this is dynamics that every single family needs to decide for them. But a lot of times this is just what happens in the relationships. Number 3 is pack his lunch. So that means if a man is going to work, what you can do is prepare and make lunch. And of course, before a man goes to work, you can say, "Oh, I prepared and packed your lunch." And of course, this is an act of service. Number 4 is help with his responsibilities. Now, a lot of times, a person who is very, very ambitious, a man who really pursues things and has so many responsibilities on his shoulders, maybe he's leading like 50 people, maybe he's leading 3 people, maybe he's doing a lot of different things, that you're able to ask what kind of responsibilities you are able to delegate, and maybe you're able to take some responsibilities off his shoulders that he doesn't need to do, because a lot of times a lot of people do responsibilities that they do not need to do, and if they could find someone to delegate, they could do that. Number 5 is offer tech support. That means that a lot of times it could be that maybe sending emails, maybe sending messages, maybe something that some kind of installations on laptop. That is part of responsibilities and tech support. That means that he doesn't need to do those things. It's quite simple, but at the same time it takes so much more time. So if you have time, of course you're able to do that active service to really take care of all the maintenance stuff. Number 6 is run errands. Now, of course, that a man could do errands and a woman could do errands for each other. That means that sometimes we need to really show that we're able to do errands for each other as an act of service, because we need to say that I care about you, I want to do something that you do every single day, to make sure that you understand that you're able to take a break from the things that you do every single day. Number 7 is plan a surprise outing. So that means that you're able to plan something that could be meaningful for you, for both of you. So that means you're able to plan. Again, this is active service because you need to plan. You really execute. If you have kids, you find who will take care of the kids, and all the other parts could potentially take a lot of time, and it shows a lot of active service. Number 8 is give him time to relax. That means that a lot of men really want some freedom and independence compared to women. So that means you need to be able to give him time to relax by himself, to give that independence in maybe a hobby, maybe just going to nature, but just really giving some time to relax and not think about a lot of different things. Number 9 is help with his hobbies. That means, of course, you're able to encourage to pursue hobbies, but at the same time, maybe there is something that you're able to do for his hobbies. Maybe you're able to really put his stuff. Maybe he's doing like judo. Maybe put the kimono together and prepare for the training. Maybe you're able to do some preparing shoes for the soccer. Maybe prepare. It doesn't matter. Like what you're able to do to help him with his hobbies. Number 10 is listen and support. This is act of service because a lot of times you really need to act to listen. You really need to act to support. And a lot of different ways there is support. Sometimes you're not able to do anything, but just being there and not saying it, but just being in the same room and touching his shoulder or his back, just showing that I'm here, I'm listening, I'm supporting you. I know that you're able to do whatever you want to do. It just, sometimes you need to have that ability, just not saying anything. People do a lot of times, they know what you need to do. They just need to know that someone is there for them in case something happens. So active service is a beautiful thing. Active service, I love active service, and this is one of the easiest things for me because I love to act. But at the same time, as I said, that active service is very important, but at the same time, is not enough. We need to have all other parts of love languages to really show that we really love each other. So tomorrow we'll go to receiving gifts, and I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.